All right, video 2 of our unit on cognition. We're going to be talking about problem-solving strategies today. All right. We approach some problems through simple trial and error, and we attempt various solutions until stumbling upon one that works. And for other problems, we may follow a methodical rule-by-rule or step-by-step procedure called an algorithm. And because algorithms can be laborious, we often rely instead on simple thinking strategies called heuristics. They're speedier than algorithms, and they're also more error-prone. However, sometimes we are unaware of using any problem-solving strategy, and the answer just comes to us as a sudden flash of insight. And that's kind of that moment where you're looking at something and you go, oh, okay, I get it. That's insight. And researchers have identified brain activity associated with insight, and this is a picture of it right here. In general, a certain level of aptitude is necessary but not sufficient for creativity, and creativity is simply the ability to produce novel and valuable ideas. Studies suggest 5 other components of creativity, and Sternberg is the guy who came up with this. Expertise, imaginative thinking skills, a venturesome personality, intrinsic motivation, and a creative environment. And the brain regions supporting the convergent thinking tested by intelligent tests, which require a single correct answer, differ from those supporting the divergent thinking that imagines multiple solutions to a problem. Such as if I ask you the question, how many uses can you think of for brick? A major obstacle in problem solving is our eagerness to search for information that confirms our ideas, and this is called the confirmation bias. This can mean that once people form a wrong idea, they will not budge from their logic, and we're going to talk about what that means. Another obstacle to problem solving is fixation, and this is the inability to see a problem from a fresh perspective. And the tendency to repeat solutions that have worked in the past is a type of fixation called mental set. It may interfere with our taking a fresh approach when faced with problems that demand an entirely new solution. And our tendency to perceive the functions of objects as fixed and unchanging is called functional fixedness. And perceiving and relating familiar things in new ways is an important aspect of creativity. And these are some pictures showing how, like, if I told you to make a triangle out of and you had to use all of these matchsticks, how would you do it? This is a creative way to do it. If I gave you a little box and some thumbtacks and a bulletin board and told you to make a candlestick, or like make it so a candle can stand up, this is how you would do it. The representative heuristic involves judging the likelihood of things in terms of how well they seem to represent or match particular prototypes. And we talked about what a prototype is. If something matches our mental representation of a category, that fact usually overrides other considerations of statistics or even logic. The availability heuristic operates when we base our judgments on the availability of information in our memories. If instances of an event come to mind readily, perhaps because of their vividness, we presume such events are common. And both of these heuristics, the representativeness heuristic and the availability heuristic, enable us to make snap judgments. However, these quick decisions sometimes lead us to ignore important information or to underestimate the chances of something happening. Overconfidence is the tendency to overestimate the accuracy of our knowledge and judgments, and this can have adaptive value. People who err on the side of overconfidence live more happily, they find it easier to make tough decisions, and they seem more credible than those who lack self-confidence. And at the same time, failing to appreciate one's potentials for error when making military, economic, or political judgments, these can have devastating consequences. We exhibit belief perseverance, which is clinging to our ideas in the face of contrary evidence because the explanation we accepted as valid lingers in our minds. Once beliefs are formed and justified, it takes more compelling evidence to change them than it did to create them. And the best remedy for this form of bias is to make a deliberate effort to consider evidence supporting the opposite position. Although human intuition is sometimes perilous, it can be, whether conscious or unconscious, remarkably efficient and adaptive. Moreover, it feeds our expertise, our creativity, our love, and our spirituality. Smart intuition is born of experience. And as we gain expertise in a field, we become better at making quick, adept judgments. Experienced nurses, firefighters, art critics, hockey players, and anyone who develops a deep and special knowledge learn to size up a situation in an eye blink. Intuition is powerful but sometimes perilous, and especially so when we overfeel and underthink as we do in judging risk. So we need to check our intuitions against reality. And the same issue presented in two different but logically equivalent ways can elicit quite different answers. And this framing effect suggests that our judgments and decisions may not be well reasoned, and that those who understand the power of framing can use it to influence important decisions. For example, maybe somebody might word survey questions to support or reject a particular viewpoint. And that's it. Thank you.